Okay. We are live. We should be live. It is Saturday. This is what we were supposed to be doing last Saturday. Again, sorry for that. But shit happens. And it was not a fun time. I would have much rather been here. So, we're going to play with our new acrylic paint markers. Well, they're not brand new. I've had them for a little bit, but I haven't really had the chance to really play with them yet. I'm not even sure what colors I have here. These will be interesting. So they're dual tip. They've got a dot tip on one end, and they've got a fine point on the other. And we're gonna see how these work. I did a slight test with them on the back of this piece. Right in here, outlined it in white marker or white pen. We'll see how things go. I don't remember what size canvas this is. It might be a 6x6 or a 5x5. Thinking it's 6x6. I originally was saying we were gonna do like a dot mandala stencil thing, but when I was going through all my stencils, I saw my underwater stencils, and I was like, ooh, you know what we'll do? We'll take some stuff from them that we like, and we'll pop those bad boys on here, and we'll do something with that, and like it can be a nod to like Coral Island, because my mandala stencils were like this big, so it was gonna involve a lot of grids and things, and I'm like, let's just do this for now. Yeah. So I traced everything on with a white chalk pencil. That's why it's a little smudgy and smeary, and I just kind of connected where the breaks were in the stencil to make it like one cohesive line. I missed removing that piece in there, but you know, we'll see how it goes. So that's the fine point end, and then we've got the dotty end. Now it says to store these horizontally everywhere, all over the packaging. Store horizontally, store horizontally. Even on these, keep horizontal when not in use. So I think they might leak, or one end might dry out or something. I'm not entirely sure which is the case with that, but we'll see how that goes. So I haven't swatched these yet, so we're gonna do sort of like a Coral Island nod here. And see how things go. I have no idea if we're gonna end up using up a pen on these. I don't know how much paint to expect to be in here. These weren't too terribly expensive, so if shit goes south, I won't be too heartbroken. I'll be bummed, don't get me wrong. Definitely be bummed, but I also didn't want to pay for Poscas at this point in time. That would have been super expensive for me. And with our trip coming up, I was just like, no, No. I would rather not. So this is a black canvas. Obviously, this came black. We didn't paint it. If you don't have a black canvas, I'm sure you could just paint a pre-existing one with some black paint, like a white one with some black paint, to get it to do what you want. So I'm not sure how this is gonna go. I've got two different colored pinks here. I was kind of hoping for like a darker pink, and then we could fill in with some lighter pinks. But like I said, I didn't actually swatch these guys yet. I probably should have. But they're also not the thickest markers. So part of me was like, I don't know how much paint or ink we have to work with here. So I kind of didn't want to waste any of it. This one seems to be drying a bit darker than how it was coming out. It's going to more of that pinky purple. I've not really used paint markers before, so this is interesting. So far it just kind of feels like a normal marker. For the most part. It is a little streaky, which I'm not super thrilled about. I was worried about that when I started swatching these on the plastic container I had. Because it said you could use them on plastic, and I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. Maybe we can decorate the container. And I started to, and then it started to get real streaky on there, and then it was coming off when I touched it, and I was like, that's not what I was hoping for at all. too good. So then I thought, well, maybe it's just the plastic. And we can still work with this. We'll see. I think I might leave the background black. It might also be a little streaky because we are on canvas. And I am trying to cover a pretty large area. So I mean, it wouldn't be completely surprising. But you know, we'll see how things go. Don't know how long this guy is gonna take us. But I figured it would be nice just to have an easy project here. After finishing up our last couple. And I don't think there's a single thing wrong with using stencils. They're there to help you. I mean, we could have tried to freehand this if we really wanted to. But I had these guys. And you know what? I know plenty of people, and I've seen plenty of videos, where sometimes people will make their own stencil just to make their project go easier. We've used stencils and templates with our needle felting before. And there's no reason to make something "20 times harder on yourself if you don't need to." I'm liking this on the black background here. Like I said, we are a little streaky, so that's either me or just because it's a cheaper pen. So I'm not entirely surprised. Just realized my head's in the way. Sorry about that. Gonna be re-dyeing my hair soon. Because that's gonna need... For some reason, my hair will drip the dye for a couple of weeks after we've gone through all the washing and everything when it gets wet. So I'm probably gonna have to be careful not to get my hair wet if we get in the pool. Because I don't know what would happen. I haven't been in the pool since I started dyeing my hair. Probably just drip. Though I don't know if the chlorine would do anything to the color. It might. Remember, if you have trouble reaching a spot, just turn your canvas if you're able to. I know some canvases are large and it's probably not a viable option. But then again, if we were working on that large of a canvas, we probably wouldn't be using paint markers. That would be more cost effective to use just regular old paint at that point. So I'm having to go back over excuse me, a couple of places. Not really surprised. Now, I probably am going to leave the background black. Because I kind of like the poppiness that I'm feeling here. I don't know how I seal this though. This one might have to be a spray. I did end up sealing the flamingos. I finally got around to doing that. We used some brush sealer. That went okay. But, this, I don't know. Like, does it just become like normal paint? Or if I use a brush-on sealer, will it bleed? I guess that's something that I would have to test. Because I might add some accents. And we might outline it and do some details with our white gel pen. In which case, I don't know how the gel pen would react to Gosh, you know what? We could just be doing that with the lighter pink. We could do that. Okay. Or that other shade of pink. This is kind of like a mauve-y pink. Kind of got that like purple undertone to it. I think they had a larger set of these. I just got them on Amazon. I was just basically using the stencil to kind of plot out the idea. But I had no idea what coloring I wanted to use coming into this, except for the crab. Kind of had an idea of what I wanted to do for him coming into this. Oh, I'm like, we're done. And then I'm like looking, I'm like, no, it looks lopsided. We missed a spot. We missed a whole section here. Alright, and then this little branch sticking up here that Mr. Fishy is blocking off. So I'd actually put this entire coral stencil on here, and then you can see I kind of took a Q-tip and dipped it in a little bit of water and tried to rub where the coral had been underneath of where that fish ended up. Mostly so I just didn't get confused and we had less smudging. Although I will say, when I put that Q-tip in water and started rubbing it on the canvas, it was pulling off the black that was put on here. I don't know what they used to dye this canvas. But it was pulling up that black color. When I did that, I was like, oh shit. That was unexpected. I just figured it was like black gesso on here, but now that I'm feeling it, it does kind of feel like it was just a dyed black piece of canvas that doesn't feel like gesso. So I mean, you can see the color difference as it's drying. There, pop that on. I'll have to make sure we lay that horizontally. Okay, so this color. That's interesting. So, husband and I have been trying to play a little bit of the new season of Diablo. And that the last season ended and bam, the new season like started the same day. I was like, oh, okay. It's interesting so far. I'm not really sure how I feel about it. There's a bit more to keep you busy so far. I think we're only level 60. We haven't had that much time to play in there. I haven't seen any purples in my possession. I've seen people linking them, but I definitely haven't come across any myself. I will say I did get a unique at like level 15, which surprised me. I was like, oh, okay. We're doing this already, alright. But now I like don't want to replace it. Because I'm like, no. Was there like a light purple that this would have been? No, not really. I've got two purples that look the same in this set on the caps. That's kind of meh. I don't know if that was a mistake. Or if it was supposed to be that way. So these seem to be layering up on each other pretty okay. Like I'm not having too disastrous of a time. Though that base color does seem like it dried before we came in to do this, so that's probably a good thing. And you know, there might be spots where you just need to add another pass, it seems. College move-in day has started. Well, I think it was the other day around here. So traffic's been a bit crazy. Oh, I'm so excited for our vacation, but I'm also getting really nervous because Debbie made me nervous, and I'm like, but she turned out to be just a Category 1 hurricane tropical storm, so it wasn't as bad as it could have potentially been. I mean, you shouldn't sneeze at tropical storms or Category 1 hurricanes. They can do their own pretty good amount of damage with like flooding and stuff. They're not something to disregard. but I'm glad the keys didn't get hammered too badly. I was rather surprised by the amount of people still trying to get their photo at the southernmost point as the waves were crashing into the end of the road overlook area where their little photo op thingy is. Past storms, they have shown huge chunks of rocks that have been thrown up by the waves there. So people seem to underestimate the power of water a lot. And at first I was like, oh, these adults, you know, dumb fucks that should know better, whatever. But then they started holding small children in there, and I'm like, oh no, I'm not okay with this. Like, no. A couple people got swept off their feet on the one web camera, and I'm like, people, really? Somebody's gonna get fucking hurt for a stupid photo. The amount of seaweed everywhere. Like, the area's surrounded by reefs, for the most part. They don't get, like, Atlantic Ocean-sized waves there. They get gentle little lappy things. So, you know it's a good churny storm when they're starting to get waves crashing down by southernmost point, and I'm just like, shit. It was like, this might not be the best idea, people. But then again, the husband and I wouldn't want to wait in that crazy long line to get a photo for that. We would just come back at night when it's dark out and just not have like a daylight photo. That's fine. Or we'd be there at like the butt-ass crack of dawn if we really wanted that daylight photo. The amount of women in dresses astounded me in the middle of a tropical storm. I'm like, what you doing? I'm like, I certainly hope you have shorts on underneath, if you're gonna dare to wear a dress in the middle of a tropical storm. There was like one chick that didn't seem to be too bothered by the wind in her skirt, and I was like, tell me she's got shorts on underneath. And the wind blew and it looked like they were built into the skirt, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. I applaud your outfit choice. Other people, though, I'm like, did you not pack shorts or pants? Like, understand it's summer, but you should at least pack a pair of jeans or something. Because you never know what the weather's gonna do a lot of the times. And if you're gonna overpack, you might as well be overpacking with contingency planned. Okay, do I have a pair of pants or something? Or shorts? Do I have bad weather gear? Or am I the only one that plans packs like that? It's possible. I am kind of liking this two-tone feel that we've got going on here on our coral piece. And just because you're using paint markers doesn't mean you have to go super simple. I mean, yeah, we used a stencil for our base, and I did stencil everything on here ahead of time, just so that we didn't have a whole bunch of time just going to the planning process. So I think it took me easily an hour, maybe an hour and a half to plan this guy out. Oh, I keep sticking my head in the way, sorry. With my glasses on, things seem too close. And with them off, I'm like kind of all up in there. I might take them off for a little bit though, just to make this a little bit easier, because now they're starting to get watery. It's a bad pollen day here. We really never got a break from the pollen. Like, not really. The only time we really got a break from the pollen this summer was when we hopped over to Oklahoma to take my mom to the zoo. Are you up?
Huh? Yeah, it's up.
Can you check that pot on the stove? Sorry, we had to start dinner.
You're good.
Okay. Ahead of time. Because what we're having tonight takes a little bit of time to cook. So this light pink's not so bad. I mean, these markers are drying a little bit darker than what they're going on as. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just an observation. They're drying closer to their cap color. Well, no, not even really. You can tell a different shade there as they're drying, though. Alright, I'll stick you two over there. Okay. So, we kind of got our coral in there. Have to figure out what color we want these two fishes to be. I mean, the fish don't have to be the same colors either. Kind of thinking maybe something orange on this guy. You know what, maybe we should do the crab first. To figure out what color our crabby's gonna be. And I really only have the one red. That's interesting. So yeah, see, there's this purple, and then for some reason, like, they look identical. Are they the same color? They look like they're the same color. I think I got two of the same one. So that I'm kind of meh about, but let's see what we can do. This really isn't a red, it's kind of like a pinky red. So we'll see how this goes. It's not too bad. It's almost sort of like a neon red feel. Now this one dulls right down on the black background. So this guy might need a second pass. When layer 1 is dry. This one's kind of juicy. Like, I can see the wet paint here. There I go, putting my head in the way again. Alright, so we'll get this guy. Yeah, he's drawing kind of chalky, and I don't think it's the, like, I don't think it's necessarily to do with the chalk marker or the chalk pencil that we used. Actually, if we're honest, the other ones have a little bit of a chalky look to them too. Probably has something to do with maybe the white base from these, so they're not very vivid like a Posca would be, but these aren't Poscas. These are Bedum paint markers. Yeah, this is kind of like a more of like a pinky red. Than like a reddy red. Now, it might be a little more vibrant if it was on white. But I had specifically gotten these because it said you could use them on black. And they're not doing too bad. We're gonna be perfectly honest. They're not terrible. That's kind of cute for the face, though. I will need to remember to try to do something like that. Alright. So I'm gonna let that kind of chill like that for just a minute. Alright. Now, do we want to go like orange or do we want to go like peachy? So this is kind of like a peach, but it seems kind of yellow. Okay, I would equate this to like maybe like an apricot, like skin tone. Kinda. Kinda, sorta. Keep getting my head in the way there. Alright, the only thing that's gonna fix that is if I bump the camera a little bit. Let's see. Alright, I'm okay with my arm being there. Arm is fine. Feels a little silly going this light shade on this guy, but at the same time, the base red just not quite enough. I don't think so. So getting those little crabby legs in there. I'm not quite sure what color to do our mouth here. I'll probably just do it black. The question is, am I real super happy with that? I don't know. Let's see. Oh. So the dotty end is kind of a small end. So let's see here. What we can do with this. I might come back in with this guy. we just did the light color. But I'm not feeling that light color now. I think I would almost rather that orange. Like that was just a little too pale, I think. Just a little. So I think I'm just gonna go over this guy again. Let's see how he looks when he's dry after this pass. And we'll go from there. Now, I will say he looks awfully pink this time, doesn't he? And that white is very, very bright white. It's not a bad thing. Just an observation. It's a good thing. We'll get this guy. Actually, the red back on top of this lighter color, we might not have to come back in with the orange and redo it. Okay, not so bad. Did they give us a plaque? Yeah, they did. Okay. Okay, this is a heck of a time to be thinking about this, but alright, I think we'll use it looks cool. Alright, I can't do his face yet because the rest of him's still wet. Now, what color are we gonna do this other fish? Kinda thinking orange. You know, I'm gonna put you back in the box. Alright. You are thinking about drawing. So while you're thinking about drawing, come back in here. And we'll start to fill you in, and I just put my hand in the wet crab. Oh, it doesn't look like we smudged him, so that's good. I guess he was starting to become dry enough there. Oh wait, did that wrong. There we go. Now I still might come in and do some outline work. With some of our white gel pen. So that might help add some popping to this guy. I mean, you can't really outline in black when it's already on a black surface. Like, that's not really gonna do a whole lot for you. I mean, you could try it, but since we're leaving the background black, like, it won't really do much. You okay?
Yeah, sorry. Blood chair.
We had to replace my chair suddenly and unexpectedly.
Hmm?
Nothing. And I really wanted to replace his first, but I don't know if it's just because I was sick or if while I was sick I hurt my back on top of it. I couldn't sit in my other chair for like more than 5 minutes before I couldn't stand it. Because it hurt that bad to sit. And I was like, what is happening? Don't know if I really like this nib on this one. So if we are filling him in orange, Do we want to give him an interior color? Or do we just want to decorate him? That I don't know. Making sure that we've got all of our canvas crevices filled in here. He kind of looks angry now that he's an orange, doesn't he? He looks so happy and adorable. And now that we've got him in this color, it's like, oh my. Excuse me. He looks all sorts of angry there. Well, we have to let that pass dry before we go too much further. We're gonna come back to our crabby buddy here. Okay. Mr. Krabby looks cute. Okay. What are we gonna do with you, Mr. Fish? Like, what color do we want your fins to be? Like, maybe we go purple? Well, no, because we've got that purple. How about yellow? I mean, we could have made it that other purple, but then I didn't want it getting too confused with our coral there. Alright. Get you put into here. See if we can get you a little bit less scary. Because, oh my goodness. You, now you kind of look like Brock Sampson. Oh my goodness. Brock Sampson mullet fish. Oh my god. I don't know what is happening. Let's see if we can do something with that. Don't know if we'll be able to. But, you know, we'll see. So we still might come back in. Do we want to maybe add That's not so bad. Sometimes you have to go outside the stencil, right? That's part of what makes it yours. Hopefully we don't mess up the background too much. These aren't bad paint markers, but now all I can see in this fish is Brock Sampson, and it's bugging me. Oh my goodness. Alright, that needs another layer of orange for sure on the body. What time is it? Okay. I think we definitely need to darken that up a bit. Because these markers are a little streaky on the canvas. I'm not terribly surprised. They were on the more inexpensive side. Which I guess I am sort of grateful for, because if this had been a more expensive one, and it had been streaky, that I wouldn't have been real thrilled with. That's for sure. But I'm just trying to kind of cover up our weird lines that we had going there. I mean, they're not bad. Maybe once we put the eyeball in, it won't look quite so Brock Sampson murder spree fish. We will see. As with all things, I suppose. When we get there. How things work out with it. Did I have to make you dinner? Husband?
Hmm?
Do I have to make you dinner?
No.
Okay. Okay, that's a little bit better. That tail, though. The tail needs some help. Needs another little pass there on that. Just realized he doesn't have a little side fin. Well, he does now. Okay. Now, do we want to do here? Do we want to do do we want to do some, I'm thinking some, I really want to use this color. The dot didn't look quite right. So maybe we should have just left well enough alone. Yeah, because now I don't like it. And now I've got it on there, so. Fuck me, what are you doing? Alright. So one thing I don't know about these ones is how terrible is it to fix a mistake? And it looks pretty terrible. I guess depending on the shade. That you are using to attempt to fix said mistake. I might have to bring the orange into our fins here. But I was already thinking that might need to be a thing. See how we go. With that. Like, I kind of need it to dry before I can do too much with it, though. So while that is drying, that's not there we go. So now, wow, that purple's really bleeding up there. But it does look kind of orange now. So we might be able to use the orange of our fishy guy in an attempt to fully fix that. Maybe. We'll have to see. How that's gonna work out there. Alright. How many greens do we have? We've got like 3 different greens. Okay. While that is drying, I'm going to That's not exactly the color I was expecting. Well, it is darkening a bit. But it's coming out very mint compared to the lid. And the black underneath, as it's drying, is graying it out a bit. Wow. That's interesting. Okay. I really want to be done with this fish, so I'm afraid if I keep going, we're just gonna make it worse. Okay. Then let's see here. I think there is a cat under my desk. The curtain on the window behind my monitor keeps moving. Uh-oh. What's that noise?
Someone scratching at the window. Alright, buddy, come here.
Alright. We must have a visitor in the bird feeder then. Alright, that's not so bad. Definitely has like a neon feel to everything happening here. I don't know what color this is gonna look like, but that came out very minty. This feels more yellow than green now that I've got it pulled aside. Okay, let me see. Yeah, that's more of like a lime. Alright. I feel bad because I'm using the back of this to test colors on. Alright, that's more like the cap color. Interesting. Okay. Sorry, I'm just stretching my legs out here for a second. I mean, so far, so good. Like, it's not terrible. Okay. So we need to figure out our rock situation here, because we don't really have a gray. We have brown. Oh, we do have a gray. Okay. I'm not sure how brown this is gonna be. Peabut is attacking the window. Or someone is. Sounds like Peabut. So do we want to go brown for all of the rocks? Or do we want to do a couple of solid gray rocks? Or do we want to add some of the gray in with the brown? We could try to do that. I'm not too worried about separation on the rocks. Because, like I said, we've got the gel pen. That we can come back in. Husband brought the dog in and then went right back out. And he didn't say what was up. Not sure what's going on. Mother-in-law is making me really nervous that she's not going to be back on time. She keeps talking about this thing that they're doing with their cousins a couple of days beforehand, and I'm like, look, the deal was you were going to come back if we needed you to come back. We need you to come back. We have hotel reservations booked. And she's like, well, I might not be there on this day. I'm like, woman? You've had all summer to be putzing around and gallivanting. Why is it that every time we have to ask you to come back, it's not, okay, no problem, I will be there. It's a whole thing. Why does this look so gold? It's not gold. but it looks gold, right? Or is it just me? Where was that green at? I might have to accent this with the dark. As silly as that sounds. If we're already apparently giving her money to ensure that she gets down here on time, she needed to be down here a couple days before we leave because we have new feeding routines with Momo and Zuzu because of Momo's bladder issues. And we wanted her to do it with us here, or at least join in. To ensure there's no issues. And we have to add in the guinea pigs. She's taken care of the pigs before. I think when we've had to run up to New Jersey for various reasons. Our friend Tyler house sit with them, I think, the one time. What's up? Is everything okay?
Yeah, he just wanted a little bit outside time.
Oh, I thought you had brought him back in. Or did you swap dogs?
No. I just came in quick enough to get my phone.
Oh. This one's being silly. One side of the nib just doesn't want to cooperate. It's kind of rough. Feels like it's scraping more than anything. Okay, so now we kind of have to figure out, do we want to take that dark green and run a vein of it through the middle, or do we want to use that lighter almost pale yellow green. Alright. What time are we at? Okay. It feels like time is flying today, but it's not. Kind of surprised it hasn't started to rain yet. They've got us in a chance of rain off and on today. And then tomorrow as well. It's not looking so bad. It's kind of cute. So, dark tealy green or like neon yellowy lemon green. I don't know. I guess this color. That's not so bad. Right now, I'm just hoping that I don't mess up the background beyond fixing. I guess if there's a spot that's extra troubling, we can take some black paint and try to cover it, or the black paint marker. That may also be an option. Okay, so where those guys crossed, I kind of need to leave a little bit of a break in between. That's not bad. Kind of like that so far.
I think it's coming out good.
It's dorky and neon-y, and I kind of like it. Alright, now. Now we have to figure out what color we're gonna make this guy, and I really don't know. No, we didn't actually end up using this one. This one can go back in the... We kind of have this, like, darker teal color. could do something with this and that like coral color. I don't know. I mean, there are blue fish. Am I gonna regret this? Probably. I mean, we could also yellow stripe it if it comes to it. The yellow stripe might be fun. Alright, so it's gonna dry a little bit dark, it looks like. You said that pot still had plenty of water?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I'm just going a little bit slower with this color. Because he is a darker color. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't gonna get too streaky here. Okay. So there's that part. We'll get this side. We have to be a little bit careful over here because we do have our seaweed. Kind of tangled up around this one. Okay. This color's going on not too bad. So the color's changing a little bit on this one as it's drying. And the change in brightness could have to do with the black canvas underneath, so do keep that in mind. It could be part of it. It's not changing drastically though, so we're all good. All right. So you know how you said yesterday, you don't believe it was registering you as a viewer at all?
Uh-huh.
Did you have the tab unmuted?
Yeah, I always do.
Huh. Weird. So I'm thinking we come back in with our yellow. We only have the one yellow, right? The one really yellow. That's like a neon yellow lime situation. Alright. So not exactly a dory fish, but we can get the idea. Not at all a dory fish, but the colors are the same. Similar. Not even really the same, I guess. So what was she, a blue tang? They've got the yellow going horizontal to begin with. Okay, so if we put you there, and then we get you down into here. Now I am thinking of outlining everything in the white gel pen. just to give it a little bit of definition. Okay, so we got that fin there. And then we've got our top fin. Might add some maybe blue striping to those fins. Just to kind of carry the color. Of the body on up into there. Alright, now kind of see where I was coloring in my color lines. Feels like there should be another stripe there. All right, so this guy ever so carefully put in here. Alright, so we've got our lines crossing here, so we just have to be careful. We don't get too carried away and get into our seaweed here. Okay. Let me grab that blue color again. Just kind of do that there. Alright, that's not so bad there. Let's get our white guy here. This tip on our white guy does not want to cooperate very much.
I got a text reminder I need to go pick up my pills.
Okay.
And I'm probably going to get that chair.
If you think we can afford to. Alright. Be careful. Can you make sure there's still water in that pot before you leave? Oh, tip on the white. What is happening? That's not cool, tip on the white. There we go. You got your wallet and...
Yep, got everything.
Okay. His chair really is creaking very badly. You can hear it every time he tries to adjust how he's sitting. And Sam's had one that I got. And he sat in it and goes, "That's actually kind of nice." Like they had one on the floor to on the floor to sit on. This one's a little harder than the one on the floor though, but who knows how many people had sat on the one on the floor. So I'm trying to slow down my terrible, terrible soda addiction or soda habit with iced tea and seltzer water. And we'd gotten some flavor syrup that I was kind of, putting a couple spritzes into the seltzer water with. I guess kind of like an Italian soda, like without the caffeine or as much sugar maybe. I mean, there's still sugar in the syrup, but it might not be as bad. And sorry if that was loud. I forgot I've got the mic turned up and I'm putting stuff underneath the little microphone tripod. But the plain seltzer water is not bad, actually. It's kind of like the bitter undertone of like the soda base anyway, so. Tried club soda. I don't like that as much. Alright. I'd really wanted to only replace his chair, but mine turned into a situation like it did with my last chair where I suddenly could not sit for more than 5 minutes without being in agony. And he sat in it, and he leaned back in it, and he's like, yeah, I can feel something flexing in the seat of this. He's like, yeah, no. Something feels broken. I'm like, it feels like I'm sitting on a piece of metal. I don't know what is going on. Now, he did sit in my chair a couple of times trying to fix something on my computer for me, or to set something up for me, and I don't know if that's what did it, because I don't think my chair was rated for him. He is trying to lose some weight. I'm trying to be a bit more mindful of what I am eating as well. I'd lost like 5 or 6 pounds in like 3 days because of that stomach virus. I think there was like almost 2 days where I didn't eat. I had like grape juice. And a little bit of water. I just wasn't hungry, which is weird because I'm usually always hungry. Now, all of a sudden, these pens are like clogging up here. What is going on? Like, do we have to wipe them off after they've sat for a few minutes? Is the other paint like drying on the nibby nib or something? I don't know, but we will see how things progress here. I'm not sure how I feel about this chair yet. It's better than the old one, but I think I have to break it in a little bit We didn't have many chair options. Like, Walmart had a bunch of, I don't know if they were GTX racers, or maybe the off-brand gamer chair that did not look comfortable, and I can't do arms on my chairs. My last chair had arms, but it had the ability to flip them up out of the way. My neck is so screwed that if I start leaning on armrests without realizing I'm doing it, I jack my neck up worse. So this chair, it does have armrests, but the armrests did not appear to be integral? Did not appear to be necessary for the structure of the chair. Because like some chairs, the arms appear to be what's holding the whole thing together. That did not appear to be the case with this one. So we just didn't put them on. I don't know why I've got my pinky sticking out. It's not like it's holding anything still. It's just there. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. I guess that was just the last position I had it in, and my finger's like, okay, Roger. We will stay in this position until told otherwise, and I guess I just hadn't told it to do anything. Alright. Put the lid back on that guy. We're gonna give that a second to dry. Best viewers on star. How about no first time chatter, Jin? The best viewers are here. They're not on star. And now you're gonna make me go through all of this. And I missed the timestamp. See if I can find the now I have to block you. That's not cool. It's just not. I don't understand how that's a good business practice for you. We don't even know who you're advertising for. Number one. Number 2, don't be advertising that shit in my channel. It's not cool. I wasn't sure if I wanted the tail in front of the seaweed or if I wanted it behind. But I don't think that's too bad there. Okay. It just looks so happy and darky and oh, I love it. Okay. Now, I think this is the lightest blue that I have. And I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this in light blue or if I wanted to do it in white. Kind of like the blue. Kind of feeling that blue there. It's not bad. Not too bad at all. Let's see now. Where do we want to proceed from here? We could could do a couple different things here. So, let's see. 38. So whenever we start, we're not going to end up having time to fully finish. Like, I don't know what to make. I kind of want these guys to be like silver, but should they be gray or should they be like silver? Because they might be a little distracting being the only metallic-y thingy on here. Because that's definitely silver. Because it may definitely distract. I don't know. Are we gonna have regrets? Probably. Oh shit. That's impressively metallic. for cheap paint markers. Holy cow. This one has a faint smell. It's not too bad. That's kind of impressive. I was not expecting that. Holy cow. Holy cow. That's all sorts of crazy. I'm kind of hoping that whatever we end up doing for a sealer will take care of these weird, like, shiny spots on here. Oh dear. Sort of regret and sort of not happening right now in my brain. Oh man. Wow. That's something. Maybe it'll calm down a little as it dries though. Hopefully. We'll see, I guess. Oh my. Alright, I don't know what we want to do with him. Maybe the dark blue? This one doesn't really have a smell either. That silver one was the only time I really even thought about a smell. Again with this white. Don't really have another piece of paper. I have like a paper towel. That's what I got, is a paper towel. And this guy just doesn't want to cooperate here. Which is crazy that the dot end is being more cooperative than anything. I don't know how I'm feeling about the blue on there, though. Still not sure how I feel about them. I guess they're gonna have to be that way for now. Oh dang, there's a third one. That I somehow missed. I think we're gonna stop here for today. I'm still recovering from the stomach virus and I am exhausted. But I want to leave us something to do on this next week so we can finish him up. And I need to do a test spot of sealer on the back of it and see if we're going to be able to brush it or if we're going to spray it. I'm leaning towards spraying it just because of the pen. Even though brushing might be a little bit less obnoxious, but hopefully. Oh right, the cat outside. Shit. I don't know if the cat would try to jump on it, so I might have to try to do a test on the back of it. But we will figure that out for next week. But yeah, I think we're gonna stop there for now. So thank you guys for joining me today while we were playing around with our paint markers. This was fun. Kind of wish we had a little more color variety, but I didn't end up getting the larger pack. I think this was the middle pack as far as color selection went. I think there was a larger box, but I didn't want to spend that much money on it, not knowing if they were shitty paint markers or not. So I'm going to keep those guys horizontal for their storing. So yeah, we'll pick this back up next week on this guy. Tomorrow we'll be back, migraine permitting, for needle felting. And we'll start to get back into the swing of things here. Again, sorry for the way the streams ended up last weekend. And I kind of just vanished. I was that sick. So, apologies. Shit happens, I know. There's a stomach virus going around. A lot of people are getting it now. But, we're probably actually going to start masking again the beginning of September so we don't get anything to ruin our drive or our trip, because we got COVID on the way home in February. That was not fun. That sucked. So we will probably start masking the beginning of September, especially with all of the college kids coming back and new college kids coming in, and you know, people getting done from summer traveling and stuff, and just the influx of people coming from all corners of the world from wherever they've been. So it's especially with it running rampant at the Olympics and some people traveling there from our state. So I'm just like, yeah, that's okay. So anyhow, I will see everybody tomorrow. I might change this fish. I don't know about that. I don't know. Maybe we'll leave him alone. He looks out of place being silver, so I might end up just painting him over in a different color. He does look a little odd there, and I was thinking, oh no, it'll be fine. Maybe I'll just go over it in gray, and we'll just add some like purple accents to him. But yeah, he's not sitting well with my brain, but we'll fix that next week. I will see everybody tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your weekends, and until next time, you guys, have a good one.